Doesn't it feel like this off-meta build week has just been rolling by? I mean, like rolling. This is patch 2.610, season 22. Let's go. Let's showcase something you never thought you'd see on the channel in such an amazing light. All right, I have some PTR footage for you guys. Look at these stats, man. Did you see them? Less than 10k main stat, 100 gem, like 8,800 strength, right? Less than 100 gem levels, 800 Paragon. Man, this build slaps so fast, you wouldn't believe me if it wasn't on tape. All right, now this is a push build and a speed build. The first part here is going to be the push variation. Now, there was some significant changes to the Norvald's Fury set, which we're going to cover later on in the video in the what's new section, right? But yeah, and the Roland set itself got a little jump as well. So it's crazy powerful. It's like a cracked out Super Saiyan Hoda barb, right? But you're using sweep attack. I mean, it's insane. I mean, you can tell by the progression already, and it does not slow down from here, right? So the basic gist of the speed build is you just hop on your pony to get your Norvald buff, which you can see the little horse buff when you jump off of it for that split second, right? And you spam sweep attack, you know, and that's it. Like, it's pretty cozy to play. It's tanky. You have a decent AoE. It's not as big as other builds. It's not as big as I would like. But yeah, we call it a lot of names. We call it the Fap Satyr because it has this little weird Fap animation also, you know, just swinging your flail around, doing big damage. But with all the hype surrounding Akon Thorns and, you know, AoV is still the king of Rift Guardian killing and things like that, you know, Roland just still is lost in the shuffle. But since we have the 4 slot in the cube and other things, you know, it's just, it slaps really, really freaking hard. And I'm happy to report if you ever wanted to play the Fap Satyr, I mean, here you go, man. I mean, this is insane, right? Beautiful clears. It rivals Fist of Heavens, but it's definitely not faster because you have the range, you know, and the bigger AoE from Fist of Heavens. So definitely bear that in mind, but it's damn near close, and that's saying something because Fist of Heavens has been the best speed build for Crusader since it came out recently. So for the push variation, it's super tanky. I actually pushed this on hardcore in the past to great success. And again, in case you're wondering, the same parameters are down here, right? In the description down below. Really tanky, okay? And then you're hitting so fast. So you basically have a Echoing Fury, a 75% attack speed, like steroid built into your kit as a Roland. So you always have basically Echoing Fury up. And then you're tanky, and then, you know, you're doing more damage over time with your fire flail, and you have a recipe for a solid build. Like if you ever wanted to play hardcore, this would be a good option. You know, and you're still mobile, right? So if you get in trouble, you can just 1 horsepower pony out of there. You know, it doesn't have, you don't have to worry about stone gauntlets like you do with AoV or all these keep up your 3 stack. And it's basically like Hoda Barb. You just Hoda smash, right? You ride around your pony and you hold down sweep attack, and the other buttons just help you, but they're not necessary. So even though I really like AoV a lot, and it is way better, you know, it's just, this is easier to play, basically. That's what I'm trying to get to, right? It's easier to play. It's tankier. There's more room for error. With your horse, you can reposition to Oculus rings. You can see me walking there with ease. Low stats, and I'm able to do a 110. You'll see the progression start to take off. I like to show these harder clips that don't sell the build, right? Because it's like legit. Like, this is a real bad map and really bad arcane beams, and it doesn't even phase Roland. You know, it's like it's immune to these kind of bad things. And with just a little bit of effort, you can just see me just moving my character, walking through beams a little bit, kind of juking where I can. But I have enough life on hit to get my life back, and I'm doing enough damage to where it's kind of cozy, right? Like, this is an illusionist pack, and it's not a big deal whatsoever. Just dodging beams left and right, standing on pivots like I did in the other videos, right? So I think this is a very fun play style, and something maybe you wouldn't have thought you would have played otherwise. And that's why I like off meta week so much. It's always fun, and it gets my creative juices flowing, you know what I mean? Because it's fun to bring things to people, videos to people, builds to people that maybe hadn't considered something. You know, I've played it all blood. I don't really care. I played AOV 4 or 5 seasons in a row, but I want to play Crusader. This would be a great option for you to play Roland, you know, where you get something unique with the seasonal theme, and we'll get into all that later. But I like off meta week, man, and it's pretty great. I might hang out just for a little bit longer, just so you guys can see maybe one more kill here, to see me pull ahead even farther. But I really didn't struggle on this 110. And again, I don't have perfect gear. I don't have any augments whatsoever. I don't think anybody would mind if I used like 70 augments on the build. But I like to push it with no augments, and that gives people a nice baseline. It helps me understand it, you know. And then I always run it at a higher level. I always run it for speeds, and it gives me a nice, well-rounded opinion about how the build performs at all aspects of the game, not just 2,000-3,000 Paragon later, which not everybody gets to 2,000 or 3,000 Paragon in the first place. So you can see Mallet Lord's not really good with the build. Standing in explosions didn't even get procced there. Didn't even proc Prophet. You know, so we have our cheat death if we want, and we have Prophet as well. And handling it, no problem. And since you attack so fast, you have no issues with the Rift Guardian either. So yeah, solid, like A tier type build, you know. So we'll get into that later with the build power as well. I'm just giving away all the secrets, man. All right, Blood. What's new with Roland this season that we should even bat an eye at it? Like, what's so significant? Well, they buffed the Norvald's Fervor set, sorry. Increased the bonus damage from 100 to 400%. It brings up a lot of builds. It's just a flat 400% damage increase, and it works across the board with, like, you can use it with Roland. You can technically use it with Hammerden. You can use it with Fist of Heavens, like we talked about. It's great. Even Heaven's Fury. So it's insane power with the build. In addition, we have a 4th Kanai cube slot in the build, so we're able to fit in more items that are more significant power boost than we would have had otherwise. So basically, it's getting a lot of juice from the Norvald's Fervor set, the 4th slot, and Roland's damage went from 13,000 to 17,500 for the 4-piece. So whenever this is the Hadrid gift for the season, it's already slaps, right? It's gonna be insane for a 4-piece. But yeah, lots of power all around, and I love Blizzard giving love to these off-meta builds, and they bring them up from like B or C tier all the way up, in my opinion, to at least mid A tier, and that's amazing. We know we need more variety, more things to play, more fun to be had. All right, in the next section, we're gonna talk about build power. And I kind of touched on it a few times already because frankly, I'm excited. You know, I like these, and it's an A tier build in my opinion for season 22 because of the 4th slot, how we're able to kind of make the Norvald's Fervor set work in our advantage. We basically can use the Norvald's Fervor set and put the denial in the cube, which we wouldn't be able to do otherwise to fit everything. So it's amazing because we would need the Golden Flance, the denial, and the Norvald Fervor set. So that's 4 weapons, right? And it wouldn't work in any other situation unless we get another type of cube season in the future. For baseline, like no experience, like you just have the 800 Paragon, no augments like we talked about, and you're new to the game or whatever, and like this and that, I would say you're looking at like a 107 baseline, kind of like Leapquake power. And then as you add augments, Paragon experience to your positioning and all that, it can easily, we're looking at like a 135 range as well. So it's like in line with that off meta where it's viable, it's just not competitive, right? So it's a fun alternative to your season if you want to spice things up. Great for like a first or second alt or whatever. And I definitely highly recommend it. I think you'll have tons of fun. It's fun just slapping things with a flail of death. For the rotation, you basically want to jump on your pony. And then as soon as you get off that pony, whether you attack manually or the duration ends, you're going to have this buff, right? It's a steed charge dismount buff. It's built into the Norvald's Fervor set, right? You get that 400% damage for 5 seconds after it ends. It immediately ends when you attack. So you don't ever have to really think about it. Typically, you're going to use pony to travel between packs anyway. We're also using drawn quarter to pull elites with you. So if you're killing things and there's like one elite left or 2 elites left, just grab them and you can pull them with drawn quarter. It's really nice. You're riding along. As soon as you see something you want to DPS, you just start attacking. It automatically dismounts you. Every time you attack, it's going to be faster and faster and faster. It's going to ramp up with the Roland set to 75% increased attack speed with the 6-piece. It's really, really great, and it's a nice feeling, right? It ramps up like crazy. While holding down sweep attack, I'll spam provoke. That'll get them to target you and give you 50% increased block chance for 4 seconds. And that's going to increase your survivability by a lot. It's really great to use provoke with the build. Akrat's Champion gives you a cheat death, more armor, regeneration, which you don't really need, but you do get more damage as well. Laws of Valor, Unstoppable Force is amazing, as the Captain set gives you survivability based on your reduced resource cost. We use this in a lot of Crusader builds because it's just like a free 50% plus damage reduction. And then we have Iron Skin Flash. Again, we don't probably have to use Flash in the build. You can probably use a different rune like Steel Skin to increase the duration. But I use this for that movement speed. I think it's pretty solid. Jump off, start swinging. Look for Oculus rings to pull them to. Right? Remember, you can pull, withdraw, and quarter, and that's basically it. Just let it rip, man, and enjoy the awesomeness that is Roland. Huh? I got more PTR footage for you. We're gonna go through the T16 version of the build. I might not have Diablo fan links of this yet, so this would be great to have on the video. This is kind of like the build screenshot section, so you know exactly what I'm playing and everything like that. You're looking at 50% crit, 50% cooldown with everything with the Captain, really well balanced. 500 crit damage, 50 crit damage. I said crit already, right? Stack area damage, 90% plus would be preferable. Here's the push build. Obviously using the Compass Rose in the build. Some reason why it's missing here, I'm not sure. Let me pause it and then just bring up it's the Endless Walk set. And then these are the legendary gems. I got Gogok, Stricken, and Trapped. You can swap out Gogok for whatever you want, like Powerful or something like that. Maybe Esoteric if you want to go for Ultimate Battle Tank. I don't know, your life, you know? Again, all the builds are on the website. I do this because I noticed early season, sometimes these websites can crash. That way you guys have another source to see what they look like, you know, for the season. So this will be time-stamped. This will be in the description, so you can easily hop to it. You won't have to watch a 10-minute plus video to find out all the information. In conclusion, again, it's off meta week, baby. And we like to show different obscure builds that maybe you haven't thought of or you haven't thought of in a long time. And maybe this is the stuff you really want to see. You know, some people want to see, like, what does the cube do, Blood? Like, what does the Kunai's cube, what do these buffs mean for the rest of the game? And this is kind of maybe shedding light, you know, on the situation, right? If you want to know just what the best of the best is, you can head over to the website, bloodshed.com. I already have everything organized in a tier list per class. And yes, there will be a tier list video before the season goes live. You know, I'm just waiting, working on it. And Blizzard actually did some changes recently to the way Twister works, and I'm not sure if they're going to revert those changes or buff it another way. So the longer I wait, the more accurate the build will be for the season. So just bear with me as we kind of wait by. Big shout out to all the patrons that support me. You can always support on Patreon or on Twitch if you want. You know, liking the video, sharing the video, and all that stuff really helps. Either way, I appreciate the support, and that's all for me today. I'm out of here. Peace.